We're going.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Conscious Cowboys. You have Madison and Tess. One day I feel like we'll say, like, welcome back. Versus, like, welcome back to the Conscious Cowboys. I understand why we say it.
I actually had the thought this morning that we would just at some point do like a whole recording for the intro, and then we'd plug it into every episode so that we don't have to introduce our podcast every single time. Like, it's
and
the
you just
same
like
intro.
jump right into it.
And that's because, as you know, if you've been listening, I've been binging a certain podcast, Call
Her Daddy, yeah.
And it's the same thing. And I have her intro stuck in my head. I'm like, what's up, Daddy Gang?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's like ingrained in my brain.
Yeah.
And I'm like, maybe we should at some point record an intro.
Maybe we should.
It'd be fun.
It'd be kind of fun. Yeah. Agreed. Yeah. And also love that you and I are both in collared shirts today. I've been having a moment with collared shirts. Like, I literally love them so much.
And it's funny because our collared shirts are completely different from one another.
I specifically like a collared shirt that has a deep V-neck. Oh, that's my jam right now. I love it.
Yeah. I don't have a lot of collared shirts. This is like truly one of the only. Well, besides like my long button-ups.
Yeah.
It's completely irrelevant.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Just to say they're making a comeback.
Collared shirts.
Yeah.
If
they
you
want to
know.
Sexy in my opinion. I really am into them.
Yeah. If you want to get Madison something for her birthday, send her a collared shirt. She loves a
Deep
polo.
Yeah.
That
Dude,
has
I don't even
the Jersey
know.
Mike's logo on it.
Did you have to wear this when you worked there?
Totally.
Oh,
and they were
hell
like
yeah.
this really interesting fabric that trapped a lot of heat. So I just felt like, you know, I smelled like tuna, and then I was hot and sweaty all day. And
you loved your life. It was a
yeah.
good time.
And I wore a visor that had my name embroidered on it.
You're living the dream.
Truly.
Also, we work at Jersey Mike's. Shout out. Best sandwich shop ever.
I mean, I feel you because I did it.
Yeah, legit. All right, well, we are here on a Sunday, even though it's Wednesday or whatever day you're listening to this on. And it was my birthday yesterday. And it was just the best day ever. Not even to gloat, because I was telling Tess I didn't want to be like, it was such a great day. I love my friends and my family. But I do, and I feel very grateful. And I want to announce that I see how lucky I am, and I'm very happy for all the great people in my life.
Yeah. What did you do to celebrate?
We, Tess included, and my other best friend from Hawaii, we hiked in the morning, and it was literally misting the whole time, and we were soaked.
Misting is a very polite way of putting it. By the end, it was like raining.
Yes, but it was misting like hard.
Yeah.
For 2 hours. This is like an 8-mile trail. And we were soaked, but it was like freezing but funny, you know? Like I couldn't like it was better than a sunny day to me.
Totally. And let's put this in to perspective for people. Like Madison and I were wearing wide brim hats and like straw hats, right? And then our friend Brogan was not. And at one point, Madison like looked down towards her feet, and the water that had
like
accumulated,
a waterfall.
Yeah, fell off her hat, and I was like, "Whoa!" And then at one point, you know, when you're hiking, you don't really look at each other.
Yeah, because
like
you're
just
talking
looking at
and
the
you're looking
trail,
at the trail or else you'll trip.
Yeah. So I looked over at Brogan at one point, and I started laughing because she was soaking wet. Like her hair
like she
was
had
soaked.
just jumped in the ocean type shit. Yeah. Yeah, it was amazing.
It was, I don't know. It's just fun though. Like that always adds to the experience.
It was honestly so fun. The weather was perfect, and we were in Malibu, one of the best places ever. And yeah, I had a great breakfast.
So where did we go after? Let's tell the people so they feel included in the plans.
They're like, we actually don't care. I feel
That's
weird
not
saying
true.
it. I don't know why. Because it's like, who cares?
So we went to Sun Life after. That's the usual.
Yeah, we went to Sun Life, and it was great as always. And then we came back and took showers, which I feel like it's always one of the best feelings to me is like hiking or going to the beach or something outdoorsy, and then taking a shower after and getting in clothes that you like and you feel good and cute. And then you sit on the couch and we watched Harry Potter and then went to dinner.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And you saw your other best friend Nina that night.
Yeah. So. It was honestly so great. And my dad, we saw him this morning and he was laughing. He was like, oh my God, that's so different from when I was 28. And we
just like the style of celebrating.
Yeah. And I was just like, yeah, I just love a chill day with my people.
Yeah, that's really what it's been coming back to a lot for us. Is like it's less about even like what we're doing. It's more so just about who we're with. Like laying on a couch and watching Harry Potter after a long hike
Yeah.
To some people, it's just like, really, that's how you spent your birthday. But for us, it didn't even matter because we were just like with each other, and it was just nice and fun to be chill.
And it was like so many of my favorite activities. And I feel like, and we always talk about this, but the world is so chaotic, and to have like the calmest day where it feels like nothing is wrong is the best.
Yeah.
Like that is a celebration to me.
Totally. And I always feel like we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to like celebrate our birthday and to have like this big old thing. But then that adds to like, just, it's like too stressful for me.
Right. Like it's like, oh, you have to plan this huge thing.
Right. And all of it has to go off without a hitch, and like it has to be fun for everybody. And not my gig right now.
I know. It really hasn't ever been my thing. I think the last time that I like went hard and got like super drunk was on my 21st birthday, naturally, you know, because everyone's like, you got to do that. And I'm like, okay, sure. And it was fun. But I always thought it was interesting that when people celebrate, they drink a lot of alcohol, and then especially for your birthday, and then the next day you wake up and you feel like literal shit. Yeah. And I never wanted to celebrate myself that way because I'm like, I don't feel good after. Yeah. And I don't even remember the night. Like, how is that? That's just not my type of fun.
What year was it when we were in Santa Barbara? You're not 21, obviously.
No, that was
3 or 4 years ago.
24 maybe.
Yeah. And we had gone out, and Madison had like a little bit to drink, and then we went.
I wasn't like
No.
drunk.
No. And so, but the story is like she was drinking, and then we went to bed next to each other, and I woke up in the middle of the night and she was nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
And I was like nervous.
On the couch. Yeah. She was like, is something wrong with me? Like, why don't you want to sleep next to me?
Yeah. Like, am I like tossing and turning, kicking?
No.
But no.
I just felt ill. And I'm like, ew, I really don't like that at all.
I started thinking about drinking recently because we are approaching Halloween and we have plans with our friends. And I was like, mentally like, oh yeah, I might drink. Like, I don't know. Like, we'll see. Like, we'll just play it by ear. But then I started thinking like, I mean, not that I have like set intentions to drink or to not drink. Like, we'll just see where the night takes me. But I started feeling like, well, if I'm pressuring myself to drink, like, why? Because I feel like that's the normal thing to do, or like, oh, I should like get out of my norm every once in a while and just try it. But like, that honestly doesn't, you know, like, again, I'm not saying whether or not I'm going to do it because I'm open, but it was just more so like I found myself thinking about it, and I'm like, you literally like kind of forcing yourself to do this.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it really depends on the day. Like, if you feel like, oh, God, we got to send it, hell fucking yeah.
Yeah.
But if not, then whatever, because we still have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, back to your birthday. What have, like, I know you haven't had a chance to journal on it yet.
Yeah,
so, like,
which I was telling Tess before this, because she was like, okay, I'm going to ask you a question. I was like, dang, I really wish I journaled on this so I could articulate my thoughts better.
Okay.
But I have a better answer than last night. So.
Okay. So what do you think? Also, I just felt like my bug bites. They're like, all right on my ankle. They're horrible.
Not right.
I thought mosquito season was over, but here we are. What is your like kind of hope for this year for you now that because you just turned 28?
Yes.
So what would you like for yourself as you enter this one?
Okay, so my answer last night when my friend Nina asked me this was like the first thing that came to my head was that I wanted more connection, which I feel like I say that literally almost every year for the last 3 years, just expanding my network. But then also in addition to that is when I last night was talking with Brogan on the way home, and we were just talking about like intuition and like listening to yourself and like the world around you. I feel like I really want to harness more of like not only like my internal fire, but just my intuition altogether, because we were talking about how like we get these really strong feelings about things and they pan out to be something that is like wonderfully like bad, quote unquote bad, or like incredible in a good way, like in the good sense of the word incredible. And I feel like I just want to tap into that more of like when I have these feelings, like these gut feelings, I need to run with them and see what happens versus like pushing them down.
Is there any examples that you would mind sharing or no?
I mean, I feel like there are many little things that happen throughout the day that I don't know if I can remember any, but they're just like small things of like, oh, I shouldn't do this. And then when I don't do it, like something good comes out of me not doing it.
Okay.
And then there's like big life decisions. Like one that is very monumental to who I am is like working for Brandy Melville. And I remember like walking into the store and whenever they offered me a job, and I literally lived in Santa Clarita and the job was in Santa Monica, and they asked me to work in the store, and I was like, yeah, like that is so not logical. I don't know even know how much I was making, like $10 an hour at the time, and I would drive on the 405 for like 2 hours there and 2 hours back. But I was like, I need to do this. Like, I don't know why. Like, I have actually no reason as to why, but I have to. And it turned into something fucking amazing that I could never replace. And it was like so valuable to my existence. And so I feel like when I get those feelings, I'm like, all right, let's fucking go.
And when you say that there's like an intuition, like there's like this gut feeling, is it just like how you were saying, you just feel like, okay, I don't, there's no explanation, but I just know that I have to do this?
Yeah. It's
or
like
I know
just
that
like,
I don't have to do this?
Yeah. It's just like a knowing. Like I just feel it in my body. It's either just like, yeah, I don't know what the feeling is really. I don't know if there's like really any specific things. I just like know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, yeah, I know what to do with that. Like usually you're kind of like, I don't know. But with certain things, I'm very certain on it. I'm like, I'm not pushing back on this. Like, this is it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have that feeling right now about like anything in specific? Like where you know something is right or you know something is wrong?
Well, one thing that is relevant to us is the one thing that I feel like is the name that I told you about for our movement platform.
Okay.
Like I strongly feel that, and I actually don't have any other feeling as to one would be better or not. Mm-hmm. But I just am waiting for you to decide because we're
Oh, no, I've decided.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I feel that that's it. And something that I don't necessarily like, I don't know if I have that feeling. I mean, there's things throughout the day where I'm just like, no, you know, like, no, but I don't have anything specific, I don't think right now.
That tone
that I can say anyway,
yeah, that's true,
on the podcast. True. Yeah.
That tone of nope, that what you just did is stuck with me. Like I can hear you throughout the day. If something like, if my body feels like a no, I can hear you be like, nope.
Yeah, I know. I think people are shocked. And I was telling Tess this, is that sometimes when people ask me stuff, I just go, no. Yeah. Like my answer is no without a explanation as to why it's no. I just go, no.
Yeah. That's something that I a lot of times don't find within myself. Like I'm always giving an explanation as to why, or like I find myself really not saying no a whole lot, or like try to find like a workaround for something. Yeah. So when I hear you just say
out of
no,
my mouth
I'm like,
sometimes,
oh,
like I just don't even think about like, how is this gonna? It's just like no, that's a no. It really is a no. But I used to laugh at myself like when I was younger and I would go out to like bars and stuff, and someone would like ask me out or like, can I buy you a drink? And I'd be like, no. And people would always be like, well, you don't even give any. I'm like, no, the answer's no. Like, it literally is just no. When you want me to be like, no, I'm going to fake that I have a boyfriend. Or like, no, I'm going to do this. It's always just like, no, I just don't want to do that. I don't want you to buy me a drink. Thanks. Like,
Isn't
I used to laugh at myself. Like, I would just be like, no, thank you. And then they just look at me and I'd be like, you know, like just, it's a no.
No, I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
And I think that we should probably take more of that into our lives of just like, what, you don't have to say yes. You don't have to please everybody around you. Like if you feel like it's a no, then it's a no.
Right.
Wow.
I know.
Cool.
Yeah. So,
okay.
Doing that, just becoming more of myself as the years go on. Obviously, that's all I can hope for, really.
Yeah. Something we talked about is how you are feeling right now like there's just so much love around you, which is so cool and special. I'm excited for you about that you feel that. And just how that you really want to just like continue to build upon that. Yeah.
Like Tess and I were talking this morning in the cars because we had like the most wholesome Sunday ever as we saw my dad and like Rusty, of course, his dog, and my sister and her children, and Brogan was here and Tess was with me. And I was just looking at all of them on the couch and I was like, how fucking awesome is this? Like, this is your life. Like, so cool. And we were talking about that, having that support or like filling your cup up in that way with people that you love. I feel like you can conquer anything if you have that around you or within you.
Yeah, I've noticed in myself that as long as my interpersonal relationships are doing really well and I feel filled up in that way, then I am just overall a happier person. And me going and doing the things that I like need to do, like work or whatever, it's so much easier to do them when I'm in that headspace. And I can see why so many people are miserable. And like when you walk up to them and they're rude to you, like you were sharing the story with me earlier about how you guys were like at the nursery and like trying to buy or return something, and the woman was just so brash and rude. And I'm like, yeah, it's probably because like something is totally going on in her personal life.
Yes.
And she just like is not there mentally, has no capacity to be nice to people. I get it. But I've also noticed that like if something is going really well in my life, I am like the happiest, chillest, easiest person to be around.
Yes.
Because I'm like, oh, I just feel really good. Like there's a lot of good stuff going on in my life.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's how I feel. And of course, there's like an ebb and flow, you know?
Yeah.
And we're grateful for these times, but also this isn't always the case. For the most part, though, we do have a lot of love and support.
Yeah.
In our lives. But I also lost my train of thought again. Oh, I think, what was I going to say? Oh, is that since I had such an awesome weekend, or I'm still having a good weekend, is I'm not even thinking about anything that even dragged me down this last week, you know? Like it's all just like, doesn't
Slate's
matter.
clean. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, I feel so calm and chill right now that it's just like, oh, my life is good, you know?
Do you notice that when you have a weekend like this and you're in that headspace that you're thinking less about the future?
Yeah.
Like not only less about the past, like you were saying of like last week is completely irrelevant at this point. But I know that something you had mentioned last week was sometimes how you have a hard time like being really present in the moment. Like you're always kind of like forward thinking.
Yeah, I'm literally always longing.
Longing was the word you used.
Yeah.
Do you find yourself longing less?
Yes. At this moment, for sure. Because I feel like I was able to see like all the greatness in my life this weekend, you know? And it was mostly triggered or brought on by the people in my life and also just like the love that they have for me, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
Something that I saw that doesn't necessarily correlate with like being surrounded by the people that you love, but I saw someone write something, oh, this is like kind of out of context, and I don't remember the full thing that she had written, but she mentioned like a big part of her always kind of runs and needs to find like the next greatest thing and like push when she feels like her life is like becoming mundane or like she has to do too many of like the mundane activities. Mm-hmm. And she was saying that for her right now, the biggest push in her life is just to sit with the things that you have to do that are considered to be mundane. Like we all got to go to work, you know? Yeah. And like to a certain extent, as much as we love our jobs, like there's a level of like, oh God, I just like really don't want to.
Yeah, there's a level of also like, this is shitty. Yeah. Yeah.
And like, I think that's normal no matter how much you love your job. Yeah. So I really resonated with her on that. And I thought of you because that is like when we find ourselves peaking in almost like dissatisfaction is when we're having to do like those routines and we're having to just kind of like show up and keep chugging along because we're like looking forward to the next thing that's coming our way. Yes. And when she said that, she has to sit with that and like accept that there are going to be bits in her life that are mundane. I was like, yeah. Also, how many times have I said mundane?
I don't think you said it a lot.
I think I said it like maybe roughly 15 times.
No. But that's, you know, people know that word and relate. Yeah, it was great. I didn't think you said it too many times. Okay. But I think that when I'm caught up in mundane stuff and I'm becoming like unsatisfied with whatever I'm doing, I think part of why I am upset about that is because I'm like, is this going to be forever? And then I think of it as being forever and I'm just like, I cannot like do this anymore. Yeah. So, and even though it's only been for like the past 2 weeks, it's been like that. I'm like, this is my life now, you know? And then I long for something better. That always happens. 2 weeks.
I know.
Yeah. It happens with me with a lot of things. It's a rabbit hole.
Like you just start going down that path of feeling like there's just really no way out of, I mean, not that you feel like there's no way out of it, but it's just like, how much longer can I realistically do this for? Yes. You know, of just like, okay, once I feel like kind of over something, I'm like, oh, it's really hard to get me back in the game.
Same.
Really hard. It takes
Same.
like a big shift in another area in my life to keep me motivated and happy to
so true.
push through this.
Yeah, which we're feeling right now.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like after a great weekend, chill weekend, I'm like, okay, next week, no big deal.
And it motivates me to like, for us to go after like what we need to do. I'm just like, all right, still going strong with Cowboys. Like we have so much support, you know, and I just want to nail it.
Unbelievable amount of support these days.
And from the people, like it's also from people that I said it in my head and I was like, does that sound right? But like the people that really matter to us are supporting us, you know? So it's even more significant. Because I feel like there's so many strangers, like more strangers that would be like, oh, that's a pipe dream. Like that's stupid. But like the 5 or 15, however many people that are like very significant in our lives are supporting us. And I'm like, dude, that rules out any of the haters. Yeah. Like I do not give a fuck what you're saying down there.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't care.
Oh my God.
I'm literally
this reminds me. This made me laugh so hard. Again, Alex Cooper, you're my fucking homie at this point. Like
Dude.
I binge your shit. I feel like we're friends. I feel like that's how people who binge our shit feel.
Totally.
But she had recently, I think over the summer, maybe bought a house with her boyfriend, and she films a lot of her episodes. And so she took her camera up into her new closet and she was popping a bottle of champagne. And she was like, you know, thank you. Like, the whole reason I'm even here in this house and doing this is because of her, you know, people who listen to her podcast and stuff. And she was like, my haters are just like so angry right now. And it made me laugh because it doesn't fucking matter if they're angry because it doesn't affect you.
Yeah.
Like let them hate. I don't care. We've gotten like our first little bit of hate online and we're like, cool, we made it.
Yeah. I was just like,
nice.
Oh my God, that's so weird. Cause it makes you feel weird at first. And then I'm also like, I don't care. User 67960.
Whatever
like,
your name is. I think they were bold enough to have a name. And I'm like,
There's
wow.
like no profile picture. I'm like, okay, cool.
The fact that you're actually spending time commenting on us.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's so interesting.
Enjoy that.
Yeah. Actually, that reminds me too, is that I was telling Tess this, is that I went to a concert with my family on Friday night and it was like a Led Zeppelin revival band, which doesn't matter, but that was the vibe of the whole show. Yeah, it was cool. It was a fun experience, but there was an opening act that came on at the beginning. And of course, any act that's in the beginning of like a band that you want to see, you're just like, who the fuck are these people? You know, like, cause it's kind of irrelevant. But anyway, the person came on and he was young and like living his dream basically and singing. And there were so many people around me that were talking shit. And I was just like, I can't even contribute to that at all because for many reasons, but also that just makes me think of like me and Tess going after our dream and how many people potentially talk shit on that. And I'm like, the feeling of that is so disgusting. I would not, like, I can't even contribute to that. I was just like, yeah, do your damn thing up there on the stage. Your outfit looks fucking great. You're hot. Like, kill it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just kept hearing it around me and like all these people. And I was just like, what is going on in your mind or your home life that is making you this angry towards this person that's going after their dreams? Like, it's so bizarre.
It's very common.
Yeah, I know.
The fact that you were even just in one show surrounded by X amount of people that you kept hearing like basically the same chatter from all angles just shows you like really how common it is.
Yeah.
That in this little proximity, this little circle, you're hearing more people than not reacting in a negative way to it. What is it to you?
And it wasn't even like these people were over 50 years old. You know, it wasn't like, oh, a couple of high school kids. It was like older adults
who should know better.
This.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, you're ragging on this 20-something-year-old kid. Like, what the fuck were you doing when you were 20?
Yeah. Were you up there?
Literally.
Chasing your dream?
Were you like doing coke in the sushi bar? Like,
yeah.
Which is also fine. But, you know?
Right.
Yeah. So I was just like, oh, dude, the evolution. And who knows? Maybe 5 years ago, I would have done the same thing and I would have talked shit. But
oh my God. Totally. Yeah. I used to talk shit all the time. And I felt like that's when I wasn't putting in any effort to my own life. Mm-hmm. So I was just like this bystander who felt like I could like judge and criticize things.
It's also very contagious, you know? It's very contagious to talk shit.
But it's also, once you become the person who puts your foot down to that type of shit talking, it has a ripple effect down the line. Like
It
if you're the
does.
one person who's like, I'm not really interested, like I'm not participating, like I don't agree, I don't believe in that, like talking negatively about this person or this thing doesn't do anything good for us, and it's like stupid.
And even when you do like the tiniest explanation, or even if you don't, it's just like a straight up halt of like, can you not say that? People are like, oh my God, like immediately there's no way they feel good about themselves for talking.
No, it's a
shit.
reality check. Like, what are you doing? Why are you spending your
like,
time
how
like
is that
this?
relevant? Like, just listen to the music or literally sit in your car. Like, you don't have to listen. They're up there like doing their damn thing. Put earplugs in.
That has really come down the pipeline for me though, once I started doing my own thing, because I realized how much effort and vulnerability it takes to do your own thing. And then, because like if you're not putting yourself out there in this way, it's very easy to like be cringed out by it. You're like,
Totally.
oh, ooh, it's like, you know, what are they even doing that for? Like for themselves, they fucking enjoy it. What does it matter to you?
Yeah, like why does there have to be a specific outcome attached to what we're doing for people to be like, oh, that's cool, you know?
We've been trained that if it's not success, and especially like instant success, then it's not deemed as worthy.
Right.
But we all know that's not the case at all. But in the moment, you can find yourself saying some shit in your head of like, I'm sure when we started, there was tons of it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm sure there still is.
Yeah, which is like.
Enjoy that. We're still going to do our thing.
Yeah, I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's really interesting. But it's nice to like recognize a change in yourself, you know? And
feels
just,
so much
like,
better.
It seriously does. Yeah.
I really don't find myself talking shit anymore.
No, maybe on like little things that are like kind of funny, but about
I'm not
someone's
perfect,
like,
right?
No,
like, of
yeah,
course I'm going to say some shit.
Yeah.
But I don't sit down and actively participate in like shit, proper shit talking.
Correct. Unless like a person's like really evil.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, we don't like them.
Well, I went out on Friday night with a group of my friends, and at this bar, it was just like a really interesting crowd. And there was one person, I was like, they were making a joke of like, oh, wow, like look at all your options in terms of men, right? And I was like, oh, which one? Like the one in the red who like clearly wasn't a looker, you know? And then like we got onto a little tangent for a hot second about it. And then I stopped us and I was like, wait, what are we doing? Like, he's probably so nice and he does not deserve any of this. Like, let's not.
Yeah.
And then he was like, oh, my friend was like, you're right. Like, oh, that's so rude. And I was like, yeah, it's okay. It's okay that we did this for a second.
Yeah.
But let's not do this.
Yeah,
I'm
totally.
not, you know, like it was funny. But then I realized it was at the expense of this poor person. And I'm like, why are we doing this?
Yeah, I know.
It's lame.
That's good that you like recognize it and we're like, hold on.
Yeah. Again, that's what I'm saying. It's just like, it's not perfect.
No, of course not. Yeah.
It's almost like breaking habits of like, if you would typically like poke fun at something or someone, you just catch yourself and you're like, what am I doing? This is so dumb.
Yeah. I think about that a lot. It's like old patterns that I have to like get out of, which I have actually, but it's just like sometimes really easy to slip into that.
Yeah.
You're like, whoa, okay. We're not that type of Madison anymore.
No.
No, we don't like that.
No.
Hard no.
Speaking of like not that type anymore, we've been talking about this a lot, but like the whole season of change thing, we're like in it hardcore.
Hardcore. And also thank you for everyone that has been expressing that this change is going to be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Just shout out.
Yeah. But also on this same note, which I'm going to get into what I was originally going to say after this, but just like, no, never mind. I lost my train of thought. But
no, was it about the clothes thing?
No, I'm going into the clothes thing. I forgot. I was going to have something like really profound to say. And then I think I got stage fright. No, I'm just kidding. But I lost my train of thought.
Oh no, I know. I feel like I've lost my train of thought a lot of times in this podcast because I literally am maybe also tired, but just so like, I need to journal. Let's just say that. Like in my head, it's just so calm and mellow. And I'm just like, all right.
I'm for sure tired. Like
yeah.
I've been yawning low-key all morning.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't get as much sleep as we normally do this past weekend. Like going to bed super late, waking up super early, still being physical, still being social, which is great. I like to push our limits that way.
Yeah. And I also have to. I'm like, there's not enough hours in the day. Literally, I wish I could be up all day long and night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But speaking of like that whole thing of not feeling What were we saying? Like not feeling like yourself or not feeling it anymore? I don't even know what the fuck you said.
We've been talking about the last few. We've been talking about in the last few podcasts that the things that work for us don't work for us anymore.
Yeah,
like
essentially on those lines. But Madison was saying that one of our friends gifted her like this really cute set for her birthday, like matching clothing set, right? And I was like, yeah, I love that set. Like I even looked at buying it myself, but I was like, yeah, I just like don't like any of my shit right now. And we went a little bit deeper into like potentially why I don't like any of my clothes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that because a majority of my clothes feel like they're from a past lifetime.
Yes.
And not even that I've had them for 10 years. It's just more so like I have gone through so much change mentally in these past few months that wearing my old clothes literally feels like I'm wearing like my old self.
Yeah.
And I'm not interested in being my old self or feeling like her or even looking like her. Like I feel like a different person and I want my wardrobe to reflect that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's hard because I don't feel like I have the finances to update my entire wardrobe right now. Like I'm trying to be smart.
Start small.
Yeah, start small. So I'm like trying to do that.
And also, to be fair, that's kind of a blessing in disguise because I feel like when I've gone through significant changes like that, I'm like, I hate all of my clothes. Like I need to start anew. And then if I were to buy so many clothes, then in a month from now, like who the fuck was that?
Totally.
Yeah. So when I start small and they're like pieces that I'm like very intentional about, I literally have them still.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, this is always me. Like I know that this like in my heart is timeless Madison and I will connect to this piece of clothing for like the next 5 or so years.
Yeah. But anyways, I'm just wondering. So anyways.
Does that ever happen to you?
Does that ever happen to you? Of you look at clothes and you're just like, who was that? Or like, I know who that was and I don't feel like that person.
Where you're just like not connected to that.
Like putting it on, I put it on because I'm like, all right, just try it. I put it on and I stand there as if like it's not my size. Like that's what it feels like.
It's who is this?
I don't like the way this feels.
Yes.
And I have to take it off immediately.
Yeah.
And so I end up wearing the same shit over and over again.
I know.
Because it just, at least it feels like me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a weird phase right now of like a lot of things just don't feel like me. And I've yet to really find the things that do.
Well, not saying that you're not giving yourself patience with this, but since you did get out of a relationship, you know, and it was like a big part of your life and now you're having to redefine yourself. So that is not overnight, obviously.
True.
And I don't even think that's like a month-long process. I think that's going to be years to come. So it's just, being patient with that and allowing yourself to just be redefined literally every single day is different.
That's why it's hard.
Yeah.
Because every single day, like even what I thought I liked last week, I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
Don't like that either. Like I ordered some clothes. Granted, they weren't like clothes that I would typically go for or quality that I like I'm trying to invest in. I ordered some clothes. They came and I hated them the second I opened the box. And it only took 3 days to get to me. And I was like, why did I order any of this? I'm returning all of it.
Yeah.
It's that's like, that just goes to show you where I'm at.
Right. Is that you just don't know right now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think I know. At least I'm giving things a try.
Absolutely.
I think I know what I want and then I get it and I'm like, nope, not that.
Yes. Yeah. It's
interesting.
Yeah. Well, because I'm just like trying to like, I've obviously gone through periods like that in my life where I mean, we're in constant state of change, like we literally always say, but that is like heavier than the change that I'm in right now, you know? So I'm trying to think of like, when I was in that, how did I like help myself in those moments? I feel like it's almost like listening to yourself still. Like what I was talking about, just like really listening. And like, I was even talking, this is like true woo-woo shit, is I was talking to Brogan last night about the intuition stuff. And I was just like, yeah, I literally like ask to be like told things from whoever is like looking over me or whatever you believe in. That I ask for that all the time. And I usually do get signs, whatever they may be.
That
is
just like radical.
Yeah. Cause I have to ask, I'm really not fucking around. Like I need a sign now.
Yeah. And I think, I'm going to try that. But a part of me understands that me trying to change my wardrobe and me trying to change X, Y, and Z, all the other things that I'm trying to like shift in my life is maybe even just a deflection from the real work that I need to do of like, I probably just have to turn inward.
That's what we were talking about yesterday or whatever. Wherever you go, there you are.
Yeah.
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 Absolutely.
When Brogan said that, I was like, yeah, no matter where you go, there you are.
Yeah.
Because you like people, you know, you'll get up and you'll think, okay, if I move here or if I make this change, then I'm going to instantly feel better. And yeah, I think environment and certain things like can help.
And we're back.
It's fun. The alarm on Madison's phone went off.
Dang it.
And she was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, I was like, that is not correct.
Yeah.
Also, the frame is a little crooked right now.
Oh, shit, it is.
That's good.
That's better.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's good. It's perfect.
I don't even really remember what I was saying other than everywhere you go, there you are. Oh,
Yes.
okay. So
Going more inward versus like
yeah,
fixing
like
the
you
external.
think like, okay, if I make all these external changes, then I'm going to feel better. And I think, yeah, that can help, but maybe only for a period of time, or it doesn't finish the job. Like it gets you started in feeling better, but then it doesn't actually like do it like you want it to.
Right.
Like you're never going to actually
You're
get
not
there.
as fulfilled, I feel. Like if I do inner work versus like, oh, I just bought a new shirt, it's always like a very fleeting feeling, you know? Like I feel good for a week and then it's done. And I'm like, great, now I need 3 more shirts, you know?
Well, and
versus like
that's why I laugh, because sometimes that's our logic of like, oh, I'll just like buy a new shirt. Like that'll make me feel good.
well, yeah, because that's easy. Like
Right.
that's really easy.
But then when you say it out loud, you're like, that sounds crazy. I know that's not going to do it.
right. Yes, I know. I think, and that's why like falling into the trap of like more a lot is not always beneficial in terms of like tangible things of like, oh, I need the new iPhone. I need a new computer. It's going to make me feel good. I need a new car. Okay. That's going to make me look cool. Oh, I still feel empty inside, huh?
Empty.
Okay. I'm like, oh shit. I actually like am so indecisive and I can't make decisions. What do I do? Yeah. So just about, cause it's honestly like one of the main lessons I've learned in my life thus far is that if you don't like, lessons are going to keep being repeated if you don't address them. Like you think that if you like sweep it under the rug or whatever you do some coping mechanisms that aren't actually solving the issue, it's going to come back around if it's a month from now or 3 years from now. So just fucking deal with it now and you'll be better for it.
Yeah. Hit it head on.
Honestly. I mean, again, easier said than done, but
No, but you'd rather, to me, like, yes, easier said than done, but continuously repeating the same lessons
it's literal
is
insanity.
annoying. You're just like,
sucks.
oh my God, how many times are we going to experience this in life?
Yeah. I think we
Until
said this
you
on the
actually-
last episode is like when you get sick of your own shit and you're just like, I can't do this anymore. You're being annoying to myself. I'm being annoying. Like,
Yes.
let's get this together already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have been hitting that. I mean, I can't speak for you, but like I've been hitting that so hard. Like I'm so sick of my own shit in so many ways.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm actually making really tangible changes now, which is very confidence building for me.
Yes,
Because I'm like,
that's
dude,
good.
you're actually like, you're finally doing what you said you needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Even in the smallest of ways, I'm stretching. Like I've been saying, like I'm going to do for 3 years.
Yes.
I'm actually feeding my body nutrient dense foods and like proper meals. Like
Yeah.
there's just like little things.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, okay, you're actually doing it. Good job. Was it that hard? You
No.
know?
Yeah.
No. Resisting it and putting it off is harder.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that, sorry, I keep looking at the camera because it's like, I don't know why. I keep looking over and I'm like, is it actually on?
Yeah, it is.
I always have this problem. It is totally on. I see that it's on, but I was like, but yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. So it's okay.
Yeah. I
Just
feel
got
like I've
rolled
exhausted
over.
myself mentally right now.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely was like, I'm actually so proud of myself for even doing this, but it's also because we really love this. Like, this is like, we're doing it on a Sunday, you know?
Yeah.
Like we fucking love it.
No, I'm only saying that I'm exhausted because like physically I'm exhausted, you know?
Yeah.
Like, whoa. I was even like, hey, Matt, like we could record tomorrow instead.
like,
And
no.
she's like, no.
But no.
Once again.
No. But yeah, I just like am very excited to continue doing like internal work. Honestly, I'm just like, oh, let's bring it. Because every time I do that and go through those hard times, it always is better on the other side. And I'm like, God, I'm so grateful for my drive and will to do those things. So let's go.
Let's
I
go.
love it.
It's a wild ride when you're on it, though.
Yeah. But I will never stop, honestly. Like, keep going forever. I literally love it. I'm like, oh my God, the power that I can harness is fucking unreal. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. So.
You heard it here first.
Mm-hmm. Dead ass. I'm firm in that shit.
When you get in these moods, I'm like, hold on, everybody, watch out. You know?
Fucking A. Yeah. I feel like, and we've talked about this, is just like having an eating disorder in my early 20s and then like fueling myself in so many ways. And now at 28, I'm just like, all right.
Because
the momentum is going. Yeah. Like I'm like fully refueled and like I could go above and beyond at this point.
Yeah.
So let's fucking go.
Let's go, Mad.
Yeah.
Well, happy birthday. I'm glad you had a good weekend.
Thank you.
I'm glad I could be a part of it. And
Same.
a part of your
it was
life.
awesome. Same. Yeah.
Okay, guys. Until next week.
Yay. Have a great one.
Actually, until Friday.
Oh, yeah. Until Friday if you're a regular listener.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're not,
soon. If you're not, come on. We're fun, aren't we?
All right, guys. Bye.
Okay. Talk soon.